Howdy all, Lax Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Retrieve the supplies. Okay. So we're gonna go retrieve the supplies real quick here. I think I should be looking for a place to build a base before it gets too late in the day. Because currently I just got myself dumped out on the ground. I like to build on top of buildings. So I tend to look for nice big buildings. Dead. Okay. I know that I need to put some points into Miner 69er. Oh, I already did. I need strength level 2. We'll do that. I'll put another point into Miner 69er. And then, what's my spear perk? Spearmaster. We'll do that. I need the Miner 69er to force it to give me tool books so that I can, you know, not get stuck with stone tools while running around with a steel spear like last time. I really don't like the book system. I feel like it's too random and it takes too long to get certain things. And it really sucks to be stuck with well, I hear you, but I didn't see you. It really sucks to get stuck with without better tools. Like I don't know. I can understand making it more difficult to get like the higher end weapons. Right. But if I get to the point where I don't know, getting to steel has always been a difficult process, really. Not difficult, you know, but tricky. Is the books better than... Is the books better than having things locked behind specific drops? I don't know. I don't know, because I often have terrible luck in games. I like to tell the story of I used to play EverQuest 2. And when I say used to play, I mean like I was in a top end raid guild. I spent all of my time in said raid guild. And I'm not gonna waste too much time here. Oh, well. Waste a little bit of time because I can't jump. Dude. Oh, this says it's still up above me. Why can't I place that there? Oh. Can I have one of my blocks here, please? Thank you. And so, oh, they just weren't on my hotbar. Um, so, we got a new expansion out. And so EverQuest 2 is an MMO, if you're not aware of what EverQuest 2 is. And so you get in a raid guild, goes around and fights giant boss monsters as a group. It takes 24 people. Oh, it's right there. It takes 24 people to fight these big boss monsters. Well, I mean, if you're good, it can take fewer people. But 24 is the maximum amount of people you can take with you. And so, so, you know, you get in your big groups and you go in and you fight these giant boss monsters in dungeons, and then outside the dungeon, there's a lot of different things to do, because it's like a whole, you know, world kind of thing, and so another thing they had was regular dungeons where you would go in with a group of 6 people, and so when a new DLC comes out for an MMO like that, I know we're talking in my gaming group. We've played through Final Fantasy 14, and with the new DLC, it's getting time to brush the old dust off Final Fantasy 14. Get back in there. We're not quite caught up to the new DLC, but we're finished with the previous DLC. But Final Fantasy 14 does a thing where I know, tangent. But Final Fantasy 14 does a thing where in between DLCs, they put out like a whole DLC's worth of free content kind of thing. And so we've got to go through the free DLC to get to the new paid DLC. Yeah, so outside the dungeons, well, when a new DLC comes out, basically what happens for EverQuest 2 was you'd have usually all new territory to explore, all new quest lines to run down. And then to raid, though, you have to upgrade your gear because your old gear, well, your raid gear probably should be enough to get you into the new dungeons the new raid dungeons, unless a big change came to how the game works, which happens more often than you'd like to think. So one of the ways to offset the changes was you go do the regular dungeons, and so there'd always be a whole slew of regular dungeons. So you got your regular quests, which give you the lowest level kinds of loot, usually, and then you've got your dungeons, which give you the next level up of loot, and then you got your raids, which give you the best loot, right? So we would go in to do these dungeons. Well, another thing that happens is that everybody's got skills, and to get the best skills, you gotta go up your level to earn the skill, and then once you earn a skill, you can improve the skill by finding a book or making a book or scroll or whatever it happened to be. And so the best kind only dropped from monsters in just monsters, and so one of the best ways to get them was to run dungeons. And so the new DLC drops, and we go in to do the dungeons. And I had several characters at max level always. And so there was always some role I could fill in a dungeon group. And uh because I had well, I was the raid main tank healer, or one of them. And then um
Smith, well, looky here, boys. We got ourselves a real life hero, and now he wants to be paid.
yeah, I do. Give me this, I guess. Okay, and then we'll go ahead and learn this. So, uh so I did a lot of dungeons. I did them as a healer. I did them as a caster. I played a caster class called a summoner. Okay, it looks like I need to go this way. Oh, I missed. And I played a tank called a Shadow Knight. And so I did all the roles. Well, I never played like a support class, I guess, but um, if you needed DPS, I was DPS. If you needed healing, I was healing. If you needed tanking, I could tank. And so I went on a lot, and I kid you not, I didn't earn. This is crazy. I didn't earn a single piece of loot the entire DLC from dungeons. Not, not. Oh, well, I mean, they added a system called round robin. No, not round robin. Was it round robin? It wasn't round robin. It wasn't round robin. You could roll for it. That's what it was. You could roll for it. But they implemented need before greed. That's what it was. We always played need before greed. And so if you needed an item, you just clicked on need. If you didn't need it, then you clicked on greed, right? And so I ran so many dungeons on my characters, and I never once won a need roll the entire expansion. Which is crazy. The entire expansion. Um, I mean, we're talking like I'd run 2 or 3 dungeons every day for weeks. I didn't win a single need roll. I didn't win it. I didn't win any greed. I would come out of a dungeon with no loot, over and over and over. It was crazy. But that's my kind of luck in games. To be fair. So yeah, so I don't know which is better. I don't know if it's better to lock it behind a random loot drop, or if it's better to lock it behind these stupid books, but I hate the books. Dude, where are the cities? Oh no. Listen, buddy, I forgot how bows work there for a second. Did you die? I don't think so. Oh. Oh, I got one more. Okay. Alright, alright. Just want to use up those arrows. I'm just looking at the roofs. This one over here looks nice. I'm gonna pick this one. The Goldsmith residence. But yeah, so I remember when they locked some of the crafting behind loot drops. So like take for example tires. Tires in this game are locked behind loot drops. And there was a point where acid almost never dropped, and you need acid to make tires. It's better now, but it was terrible. Like, I want to say I was playing with a group of people, and we had 2 bottles of acid between 3 of us, which is crazy. Over days of playing, right? Over days of playing. I'm not saying like we're just like, we went to make some tires and we had 2. No, I mean like we had like a whole base, we had gardening, we had electric doors, everything, but we had no acid to make things. I remember they fixed that. That was a thing. Building blocks. Okay, I don't need 214 right now, but I could use 100 maybe. Oh shoot, you know what I need? I need ladders. Can you cancel this for a minute? I need, give me like 20 ladders first. And then you can give me the 80 building blocks. But then like steel was locked behind having to find a crucible. Oh geez. And some of the chemistry stuff was locked behind finding beakers. I don't know if that's still the case. But there was a time where you could make that stuff as well. But now you got the books, right? You gotta get 800,000 books to unlock the ability to make a sandwich. I really don't like the books. I think I'm gonna break this down. What? That's... Why can't I make this... Did I miscount? Oh, because that's not a ladder. Whoops. I did miscount. It's not a ladder. Okay, so we're probably gonna actually go up a little higher here. Think this is high enough? Is this high enough? Okay, I need you to get on the ladder. All right. Okay. So now we gotta go 1, 2. Is it 3 between? I think it's 3 between. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Oh, well, then we fall off the edge. So 1, 2, 3. Come on, get up. Mm-hmm. Okay. Now we get the fun of jumping and placing blocks. Yep, I missed. What does that look like to you? 1, 2, 3, or 4? I can't tell. It looks like it might be one more higher. Really? I can't reach that? Oh no. I tried to jump and I totally missed, and luckily landed right where I need to be. Yeah. I did it again. So weird. I hit the spacebar to jump, and then my guy is like, not gonna happen. Oh man, all right, I gotta tell a couple of stories. So, a couple of them are about me, and one of them is just a thing that I've been watching that's irritating the crap out of me. So it kind of feels like this stuff I've been watching, streams I've been watching, they're running into the same problem that, you know what, I was wrong. I totally could have used 200 blocks. Did I just make blocks or did I make storage crates? I made storage crates, dang it. Not that I don't need storage crates, but I definitely don't need 17. Well, what's my number? Right, because I have a system. So it's kind of funny to me that I was in a guild in EverQuest 1, actually. And in that guild, there was okay, so now we gotta run back and get my stuff. So in that guild, I was trying to remember when I joined it. I feel like this is the way it went down. So in EverQuest 1, there was a guy I used to play video games with, and he got me into playing EverQuest 1. He came into my house, he brought it with him, he installed it on my computer, we loaded into his character, and I was like, dang, I want to play this. And so then we went and got it, and then we played together for a while. And then he decided he couldn't spend the time playing it and quit. He wasn't getting. He'd reached a point where he wasn't playing as much as he had been, and was upset that people around him were playing the same amount of time and were advancing, and so he felt like he was being left behind. This doesn't really have much to do with this story, but it happened twice. Actually, it kind of does. So he's the one that got me into it, and then he was advancing way faster than me because I was I don't know, just enjoying the game, and then he got into raiding, and then he got me into raiding, and we joined this guild. I wish I could remember the names of the guilds, but I don't remember. I've been in so many at this point. I want to say Spirits of Fire maybe was the name of it or something like that. And so we're in this guild, and the server owner, and I don't know, his girlfriend or his wife or whatever, they decided to oh cool. Can I pick it up? I can't pick it up. Weak. I also didn't mark where my other place was at. Decided they didn't want to play on regular EverQuest. They wanted to go play on the PvP servers that had just opened up, right? And so they left. They put a council in charge of the guild, and they left. Now, we had gotten into raiding under them, and so they left, and then we got heavy into raiding. Like, I was in the top 5 guilds in the world at one point on my server that I was on. We were like the third best North American raid guild. Like in EverQuest 1, mobs weren't instants, so whoever took them down, and then they would respawn 7 days later. And so we had like the time we defeated the mob calendared in, so that we would know to be back online to take out that mob again, so that no other guild in the world, on our server could take it, right? So we were one of the guilds who had, wanted raid bosses locked down on our timetable. And so it was crazy. And then some people in our guild didn't raid. And they decided that they remember nostalgically that everybody was more friendly back in the day and at their level to do things together. But because they don't raid, they didn't keep up on their levels. And so now they've been left behind by the raiders. And I know we talked about the numbers in EverQuest 2, but in EverQuest 1, you needed 40 people to do a raid. It was groups of 8, if I remember correctly, 5 groups of 8. I don't think there was a limit. Was there a limit on the number of people you could take? I know it was 40 was the minimum, I think. And so we had like 100 and some odd people in our guilds, who were raiders, because not everybody can make it every time. And so we were doing quite well for ourselves, I felt, as raiders. And then the people who decided they weren't raiders and decided that we weren't hanging out with them as much as they would like, contacted the guild leader and told him that we had destroyed the guild with our obsession with raiding. And so the guild leader, who hadn't played in months on our server, came back and told us that we either needed to do stuff to incorporate the lower level players, or he was going to disband the guild because we had destroyed the family friendly feeling of the guilds, right? So then we refused to stop raiding, so we created a new guild. And you know, because that's kind of how it works. All right, let me get my stuff here, because I it's ridiculous, right? We started. I joined the guild because it was a raid guild. Thank you. What is going on with this bed? That there you go. Okay, bed is down. Okay. So, is this like something to drink? Weird. And so yeah, so it was crazy. So then we jump forward. I'm probably not going to make it to the other story I was going to tell. So we jump forward in years for me. And now I'm on EverQuest 2. And I'm in a guild. And when I joined the guild, they're basically set up the same way. It's both guilds started as open raid guilds. Both guilds moved into having enough people to have mostly private raid guilds. Both guilds, though, allowed other people in on our raids. You know, who we were friendly with. Because in EverQuest 1, you know, it was kind of like a corporate secret who you're raiding when you were raiding, because you didn't want other guilds to come in and take your stuff. But EverQuest 2, everything was instant, so we just had open raids. And the leader of the guild and his girlfriend decided that they did they go to PvP? I don't remember if they went to PvP or if they just quit playing because they wanted a break. And so they put a council in charge of the guild, and then they didn't come back for like 6 months. And so 6 months later, they log in, the guild leader logs in, and he's like, huh, I'm like a whole DLC behind now. I need you guys to run me through the previous content. And they're like, well, what's the point? We can just run you in this content and get you the gear now. And he's like, I don't want to be carried. Right. So he wants to go back with our current raid gear to do the previous raid gear, or previous raids, with the next set of raid gear. And that's not carrying you because you don't want to come on the raids now. So so he went on a couple of raids and then quit again. And then about, I don't know, it was probably about another 2 or 3 months, and then he came back and put this big post in the forums we had about how we were ruining the family friendly feeling of the guilds by all our raiding, and that we used to do stuff with the lower level people, and now we don't. And that we either needed to stop raiding so much and incorporate the lower level people, or he was going to kick people out of the guild. And he did kick out the raid leader. And I'm like, I don't understand. Like, I've been part of this guild for 2 years, and now you're saying that. What did I say to him? I said, we've been a raid guild for as long as I've been a member of the guild. And that's been over 2 years in this guild. And he told me, if you are just here for raiding, then maybe you need to find a different guild, because this one isn't your guild. I'm like, I've been in this guild for 2 years. What do you mean? It's insane. And so, yeah. So we got kicked out of the guild and had to join another guild. So just, I guess, real quick. So I've been watching this stream and stuff, and I feel like the same thing has just happened to an entire server full of people. It's on a private server, and the owner hasn't played in months, and he gave some rules on to how the server is supposed to run, and they've been running the server, and then some people don't like how the server is being run, so they contacted him, and so now he's back, and he's basically forced out all the people that he left in charge because he doesn't like what they decided to do while he wasn't playing. I'm just like, this is insane to me. It's like, it's terrible. Like, these people have spent 7 months or more building this up, and you never said a word, and now you're just back, and you're like, yeah, you know, my friends are like, they don't like this, so I don't like this, so y'all can quit and go someplace else. Shouldn't treat people like that, man. All right, well, with that, I am going to call it a day. So, be around the small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.